Hey everyone, I think today is going to be a bit of a fun one. So I am going to be trying shishito peppers. And now that's not to say that I haven't tried them before, but I'm actually going to be quantitatively and a little bit qualitatively analyzing a couple bags of shishito peppers here, because the bags say on them that 1 in 10 are spicy, right? It says only 1 in 10 have heat. But we're gonna find out today if that's true or not, because yeah, that'll be fun. Now give me a moment, I'm gonna get a piece of paper and a pen, and then we'll get started. So of course, the weird thing about shishito peppers is that they are conditionally spicy. And before making this video, I sort of looked up shishito peppers to learn about them. And of course, they are a pepper that was grown and developed in Asia. And really, this is stating 1 in 10 are spicy, but it turns out that it could be anywhere from 1 in 10 or 1 in 20. And what makes them spicy is actually the weather and the conditions that they're grown in. It seems that rougher conditions and warmer weather will bring out more of that pungent flavor and spiciness. So before getting into this, and I'll just open them, I guess, while I talk. So bag 1 and bag 2, right? I wanted to get a bigger sample size. That way I can make sure that this makes sense and that everything is well documented. So when I went to the grocery store to get the peppers to do this, I noticed that there was really poor selection of shishito peppers. There's only one grocery store nearby that I could find them in. And while trying to pick out some peppers, looking at the bags to make sure I was getting good ones, there was just like this sludge in one of the bags, and it just seemed like people either didn't want them or maybe just it's difficult to grow and get them to the grocery store. But I was thinking it's probably more the former, which is maybe, I'm just thinking, like, why would somebody want to buy a pepper that could be super spicy or, spicy at all? If you think about it, when people are buying food, they don't want to be playing a game of roulette with what they're eating. And a lot of people don't like spicy. It's sort of a dichotomy where it's like either you really love spicy food or you don't at all and you just don't want it. And so for something to be potentially spicy is sort of like, well, I don't want to be playing a game of chance with what I'm eating. I'm either going to get bell peppers, I'm going to get jalapenos or serranos or something like that. So I don't know. I just think this is such an interesting pepper that it's like a game, it's like you don't know if it's going to be spicy or pungent or flavorful. Like, it's just something you take a chance with. And so I think they're a really delicious pepper. They're that thin skinned pepper. So we'll take a look here. I'm just going to pour out bag number 1. So I tried to get the best bag I could, right? I really was avoiding any mold or decay, because like I'm saying, there was a bag there that was just completely rotting. But I got a pretty good bag here, I'd like to think. And so we're just gonna take a look. So based on what I was reading online, you can tell that they've ripened because they turn red. Obviously none of these are red, but my guess would be that the ones that are brighter in color are more likely to be spicy. Now that's just what I'm thinking off the top of my head. So let me actually see how many peppers I have here. All right, so I have 24 peppers here in front of me. So I'm guessing that out of this 24, based on these odds, anywhere from 1 in 10 to 1 in 20, I should be at least getting a few spicy ones, maybe 2 or 3 or 4. So let's find out. And really all I'm gonna do to figure this out is just taking a bite out of them. And I wanna make sure I take a good bite, because even with pretty hot peppers, specifically, jalapeno comes to mind. Not that jalapeno is super spicy, but you can take a bite out of the end of a jalapeno and it's not spicy at all. You really have to get a bite with the seeds. So I'm gonna be taking a bite closer to the top of the pepper here, because I find that that's where you can really figure out where the spiciness is coming from. So This is bag number 1, and this is pepper 1, and this is a big one. And I think after this challenge, or I don't even know if it's a challenge, it's more just an experiment, I'm actually going to be roasting these, and that'll be a really fun thing to do as well with the remaining ones. I've had some really good dishes with shishito peppers, or just roasting them on their own is absolutely delicious. So here's pepper number 1. Let's see if it's spicy or not. So I got a good bite, and it actually has seeds. Not hot at all. It tastes like eating, I don't even know. It's like the thin skin of like a ghost pepper, but like no flavor. So it's like a green bell pepper. Pepper number 1, not spicy at all. All right, pepper number 2. And so that one, I was expecting it maybe to be spicy. It has a little bit more lighter color. This one down here, if I had to predict out of any of these peppers which one would be spicy, I'd say it's this one. This one at least has like a little hint of yellow on it. First pepper, not spicy. Obviously we have 24, so this might take a little second, but it's for science. So pepper number 2, I wouldn't expect this one to be spicy at all. Looks green, looks fine. Again, I'm biting directly into those seeds. This one isn't spicy either. Tastes like a green bell pepper. So that's 2 peppers down, 22 to go. All right, pepper 3 here. Your average shishito. So that's the thing about this. Like if shishitos are truly just a roulette of which one's spicy or not, you really have no way of telling, at least from what I can tell right now. If this turns out, this one that I'm guessing to be the spiciest out of this batch, maybe I'll be able to develop a science of figuring out which one is the spiciest, but for right now, I can't tell. Pepper number 3. Green bell pepper flavor. No spice at all. All right, pepper number 4. No heat at all. Like biting into nothing. Honestly, these are really good. Like they're very, very hydrated. They're not sour or bitter. They're just a decent bell pepper. I mean, you know, obviously not a bell pepper shishito, but where you really get good shishito is when you roast it. And I was at a Halloween party, I think maybe a year ago, and they had roasted shishitos, and I was just back there eating them all. So, okay, this is pepper number 5, by the way. Not spicy at all. This is a little one. I'm starting to think maybe that would have something to do with it. I don't think so though. Let's see. What did I say? Pepper number 5 right now? This is pepper number 6. Pepper number 6 is a smaller pepper. It's a little bit more bitter, kind of like more of that unripe flavor, but otherwise not spicy. All right, pepper number 7. Ooh, nope. I thought for a second there might have been a little bit of spice on pepper number 7. Wait a second. Pepper number 7. Okay, yeah, this is pepper number 7. It might be a little bit spicy already on the 7th pepper. 1 in 10, 1 in 20, maybe 1 in 7. No, I don't think I'm making that up. This pepper is a little bit spicy, and I'm biting directly in those seeds. Okay, I'm getting a little bit of heat, like a tiny bit of heat, like less than a jalapeno. But yeah, so pepper number 7. This one has some heat to it, but it is so mild. Yeah, it's so mild. I don't think that somebody, I would hope that somebody who's not afraid of like eating spicy things would be okay with that, because it is so incredibly mild. And maybe that's kind of what shishitos are good for. You know, it's like somebody who's not really into spicy food and they just kind of want to potentially experience something spicy every once in a while. And you get a whole batch of shishitos all mixed up and chopped up, and it's like, oh, there's a little bit of heat in here. But really, on the 7th pepper, I mean, it is so mild. I almost just overblew that. And there's potentially, I mean, I've done 7 so far. There might be a pepper in here that in these that I've already done that might have been a tiny bit spicy, like a little bit less spicy than this one, or even a ton less spicy. And I just couldn't detect it because it's just so less heat. But maybe somebody else doing this would have detected it. But yeah, that 7th pepper there, that was barely spicy, But yeah, I did taste a little bit there. So pepper number 7, and I really had to bite and like really chew the seeds before I even felt that heat. So if you're doing this without the seeds, Shishitos are usually roasted whole, but yeah, that was a little bit of heat. So far, 1 pepper out of 24, 1 in 7 so far. All right, pepper number 8. Will we get another hot one? Or I can't even call that hot. Will we get another one that might be considered spicy, or just a regular pepper? Let's see. Whoa, pepper number 8. Pepper number 8 is hot. Pepper number 8 is hotter than pepper 7. That is weird. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I've done 8 so far, and on those last 2, they're both hot. And not only that, but it just jumped up. And that might be around jalapeno hot, or maybe a little bit less, but wow, okay. 1 in 10, 1 in 20? Yeah, I mean, we'll find out. So 8 down, and 2 out of those 8 are a little bit spicy there. Wow. Not spicy like I need water, not spicy like I'm gonna sweat or anything like that, but definitely some heat. Very interesting. Pepper number 9. Pepper number 9, nothing. We're back on those nothing peppers. Let me make sure. Because I'm biting right into the white part, like where all the seeds are. And I've been doing that on all of them. So these are the ones I've done. 9 right here. 2 out of the 9 were hot. And we have a few more. So nothing on 9, but 7 and 8 were hot. All right, the pepper number 10. Nothing on pepper number 10. And again, these are good peppers. Like, they have a ton of flavor. They're nice and crunchy. I'm totally gonna roast these after this, but I think that's where you get the flavor from, not necessarily from them being spicy. Pepper number 11. Pepper number 11, no heat. Pepper number 12. Pepper number 12, no heat. Oh, interesting. So they could kind of have like this little tail. Kind of reminds me of a maybe ghost or a scorpion or something. But that doesn't mean they're spicy. Where am I, 12? Yeah, 12. I'm on pepper number 13 now. So let's see if pepper 13 will have any heat. Pepper 13 has no heat. All right, so we're over halfway through bag 1. So far, only 2 have heat. This is such an interesting thing, because I've been seeing this bag in the store. I've been thinking, really? 1 in 10, huh? Well, we'll see. That might very well be true. I might not get any more spicy ones for the rest of this thing. We'll find out. So, pepper number 14 here. Okay. Pepper number 14 might have a little bit of heat. It's kind of like where I was with that first one, where it was like, yeah, I guess this is considered spicy, but I should count that, you know, as having heat. So I'd say 3 out of the 24 so far have had heat. So interesting. So another kind of very low threshold spicy pepper. All right, so that was 13. Let's go 14. Pepper number 14. I wonder if this one will be spicy. No. Pepper number 14 has absolutely no heat. All right. Pepper number 15. Will pepper number 15 have any spiciness? Pepper number 15 is not hot. And really, like, like I'm saying, if I would have just bitten like the end of the pepper here, I don't think I could have ever detected any heat on any of these. The heat is really only in the seeds. So we're not even talking about like the entire pepper, in my opinion. I think like I'm saying, shishitos are traditionally eaten whole, roasted. But if you're not even doing that, you wouldn't detect any spiciness, in my opinion. Or at least I wouldn't detect any. Obviously, somebody more sensitive or maybe with better taste buds could pick up on this, but what is it? So far, like only 4 out of the 24 have heat, like detectable amounts of heat, but it's honestly, I think enough black pepper, fresh ground black pepper could be spicier than one of these, honestly. This is 16, I believe. Pepper 16, not hot at all. So I'm now in the row where, so these are all the ones I've done so far. Right here, 16, I believe. And then I just have a few left back here. So, but this one here, I'm gonna do this one last. This was my guess for the one that would be hot, because it has a little bit of color. Well, it might even be, you might even be able to tell. But I think it has a little bit of color that could indicate that it was a little bit more ripe. So what is it? Well, I think I'm on 17. Pepper 17, and honestly, these almost look more like okra than anything. They're just so interesting. Shishito. No, it just tastes like a bell pepper. 17. All right, pepper 18. Oh, and I will say, before I go into pepper 18, the ones that had heat, I would not have been able to tell just by looking at them. They look just like any other shishito. So if this one ends up being spicy, that'd be interesting. But of the other ones that I tried, I could not tell you that just by looking at them. So it is very fun. It's like a roulette. 1 in 10. And then it says, of course, to roast them until they're blistered. And yeah, those, just put a little bit of oil and some salt and roast them in the oven, and shishito peppers are delicious. So I'm totally gonna be having a feast of shishitos after this. And I have another bag too. I'm definitely gonna be trying this bag too. And this bag is a little bit special because this one here is yellow. So I think that one might be hot, but I don't know. But I tried to look for a bag that had some that looked a little bit different. So stay tuned. I will be opening this bag as well after this bag. So far, I think 4 out of this one, which is around where the 1 in 10, 1 in 20 or so odds are. So far on par for what we're expecting. I didn't get like a ton of super hot shishitos, right? And obviously a ton of them are mild, but that's within the range that we're going for. So I think this is 19. I don't know. Let's see, 19, 20, 21, 22, 24. Yeah, this is pepper 19. Pepper 19. Honestly, this one almost looks like a wax pepper or like a pepperoncini. I don't know, something like that. And it's kind of reminding me of those, trying these. Obviously, just without any real flavor. All right, lucky pepper 20. Let's see, any heat on this one? Take a guess. Will this one be spicy? Probably not, is my guess. No heat at all. Pepper 20. All right, this one is not looking very good. A little bit manky. The stem is kind of gross, but I think it's like a leaf that was stuck on there. Pepper 21. Will pepper 21 be any at all spicy? No, pepper 21 was not spicy at all. All right, pepper 22. Will pepper 22 have any heat on it? Nope, not on 22. 23, will 23 have any heat? No, literally none. Okay, one pepper left. The magical pepper 24. Will this pepper have any heat? Like, I really think it could, because it has that kind of yellow color to it, like it was in the sun a bit more. Now, if this does end up being spicy, even in the slightest, that means that there could be a guaranteed way of me knowing going forward that, yeah, maybe if they're slightly more ripe, they might have heat, but who knows? It might just be a wild guess. I mean, could you guess out of any of these 23 which ones were spicy? Because I couldn't. It just turned out that for whatever reason, there's just a small little grouping right here in the middle that were spicy. I don't know why. It just happened that way. So let's try. Finally, from the first bag, pepper 24. Wow. I feel like I can taste a difference in this one by it being more ripe, but it's a little bit sweeter. Has a different flavor, but absolutely no heat. No heat at all. So out of 24, I'd say, 3 or 4 had detectable levels of heat. I think it was actually 4. So 4 and 24, which, yeah, that's within the range of 1 in 10 or 1 in 20 if you want to go there. But other than that, nothing really standing out. I think delicious flavor, but really not any significant levels of heat. So I'm gonna put these back in their bag, and then we're gonna check on our second bag right here. So let me know, do you like shishito peppers? Are you a fan? Can you even find them at your grocery store? Because I went to a couple and I was only able to find, literally on the shelf, there was only like 4 bags. And out of those 4, these were the only 2 good bags. The other bag was, I literally got like rotten shishito juice on my hand while picking these out, because the selection was just that bad. There was literally fermenting shishitos. So that's bag 1 down, 4 and 24. Let's try bag 2. So bag number 2, there is a special pepper in here that I think could be the spicy one out of the batch. And if not, it would just be the more ripe one. I would say definitely expect more than 1 in 10, but don't expect them, and then this is just based on this one bag. Obviously, I might change this if more of these are spicy or less of them are spicy, but I'd say expect more than 1 in 10 to be spicy so far, but don't expect them to be very spicy. Like, within them being spicy, it's gonna be like either very little or like mildly spicy. So let's see how many we have in bag 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Yeah, 25. So 1 extra pepper in this bag. And honestly, I think it's probably just these 2 are just so small they count as 1. I actually didn't notice this one in the bag. It actually looks a little bit more yellow than I was hoping I would find, which isn't a bad thing. It just, maybe that one will be the spiciest one, but I'm thinking maybe this one could be spicy. It is pretty yellow compared to these other ones. I mean, like this one isn't yellow at all. So let's find out. Bag number 2, which will be the spicy pepper, if at all? Let's go. So starting at the top here, pepper number 1. No heat on pepper number 1. Pepper number 2. Now this is a sizable pepper. This is almost jalapeno size. Wow. Delicious pepper, no heat. Right? No heat. You know, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But it might, like, if it did have heat, it'd be so infinitesimally small of a Scoville. It's like 1 or like 5, if that's, like, it has no heat. Like, it's just not hot. But you like taste something that's almost savory, which could be construed as heat. I don't know. Anyway, pepper number 3. I'm not counting that. Pepper number 3. Pepper number 3 is not hot. 4. Nothing on 4. 5. Nothing on 5. 6. It's a little one. It's like a tiny little pepper. Interesting. It is a little bit hot. It is. Weird. Yeah, this little one here. It has some heat, and of course it's tiny. It's less than a jalapeno, less than. Like I'm saying, black pepper could be spicier than it, honestly. Like raw garlic for sure is spicier than that. You know, raw ginger is spicier than that. Anything is spicier than that, but tiny amount of heat. So I'd count that. You know, that I count. So far, what is it? 1 in 5. 1 in 5 here, out of what we have. So 1 spicy so far. Pepper number 6. Nothing on pepper number 6. Let's check out pepper number 7. Nothing. 8. Nothing. 9. And for pepper number, what was it, 5 or whatever, where I did get a tiny amount of heat, it took like a little bit of time to kick in too. It was like I could not really detect it. So I'm not trying to go too fast because I might miss something and then I might catch it on another pepper, but yeah, so I'm on 9. But I'm not expecting it to like take so long. You know, it shouldn't take that long. I don't consider it spicy if it takes like 5 minutes for me to taste the spiciness. Pepper 10. Nothing. So the only one so far was this one, this tiny little pepper. I think the other ones in the other bag were larger, so I don't think that has anything to do with it. Really, from what I could tell from my research being Wikipedia, was that it depends on the growing conditions. So maybe that little pepper just got more sunlight or more stress or something, and that's why it ended up being spicier. But all right, pepper 11. Nothing. Pepper 12. Pepper 12, also nothing. Pepper 13. Nothing. Pepper 14. Also nothing. So by this time I had already gotten, I think, like 2 or 3 spicy ones. So what was I on? I think like 14. So pepper 15. So far only one of the batch has been spicy. $15, not spicy. $16. $16, not spicy. $17. $17, also not spicy. $18. Pepper 18. Pepper 18 was not spicy. All right, 19. Nothing. Wow, this bag has kind of been a bust compared to the last one. At least we got a little bit of heat from a few of them. So far, only 1 out of 19. All right. Home stretch here. 20, pepper 20. Nothing. No, literally nothing. No. All right. This one I think could have something. It's looks different. It's smaller. This small one was a little bit spicy. I'm thinking like maybe that could do something. This one here. Let's try it. So pepper 21. I mean, it certainly tastes different, but spicy? No. No heat at all. Not in that one. So pepper 22. Nope. Nothing in pepper 22. Pepper 23. 2 more after this one. Absolutely nothing. It's I just feel like I've been crunching on nothing. Like, it's just water is the predominant flavor, unfortunately. Wow. But roast them, it's gonna be a whole nother thing. I promise. Like Shishito, this is just to test if they're spicy. And the flavor is so monotonous at this point from eating I haven't actually physically consumed 50. I've taken bites out of almost 50 or whatever, 45. No, yeah, like 51. Right? 24, 50, yeah. So like 51 or so peppers, but who knows how many peppers that actually amounts to. It's probably only like 1 bell pepper or 2 bell peppers. But anyway, pepper 24. Absolutely nothing for pepper 24. Pepper 25. Nothing. And the seeds fell out. Nothing on pepper 25, which means this bag had 4 that I could even consider having spicy flavor. This bag that we just went through had only one pepper, and it was this little one. So So this means that, yeah, I don't know. I think that it really depends on the bag, because you might get a bag that's slightly more spicy, maybe 4 and 24, or like 5 or 6 and 24, or 1 and 25. You know, I don't. I think Shishitos are delicious. And honestly, if you are afraid of really spicy peppers, give Shishitos a try, because apparently, according to my research here, most of the time they're not spicy. Now, I have had Shishitos before that I grew myself, and those were spicy, and I let them go a little bit longer, of course, and I grew them in a really hot climate, and so I think that has a lot to do with it. These are locally grown, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, they're actually grown in the state that I'm in, North Carolina. So, and if they were grown, around this time of year, or a couple months ago even, it wasn't very hot. So Shishitos grown during the summer versus Shishitos grown in a greenhouse during fall or winter, yeah, it's going to be completely different. So I might do this again if I can find Shishitos during the summer and see what the odds are then. But so far, from what I found, Shishitos grown during fall, winter, in a cooler climate, likely won't be very spicy. Now, during summer, that might be different. I have no idea. We'll find out. But from what I can tell so far, give them a try if you're afraid of spicy peppers. You might get one that's slightly close to jalapeno, and that would probably be the worst. But we'll find out. We'll find out if they get spicier during the summer. I might grow some. There's plenty of seeds everywhere. I'll probably put some in a little bag and try growing these myself coming up this spring. See how those do, or during the summer as well. But from what I can tell from this little experiment here, I'm not afraid of Shishitos, at least not in these conditions, because 1 in 25, and then at worst, what is it, like just a couple in 24 were spicy, like 3 in 24 or so. Yeah, I would not worry. I mean, it even says mild heat, and I'd have to agree. So these ones, don't be afraid of Shishitos, at least not this time of year. I think give them a try. They're delicious, and I'm gonna roast these up, and I know they'll be perfect. So give Shishitos a try, and maybe do this experiment on your own. See which ones out of your batch are spicy. See if it truly is 1 in 10 or 1 in 20. That's sort of a big range, but that's what I found as well. So let me know what you think, and I hope you enjoy Shishitos this time of year.